creative people? It's Sherry with Dragon Wagon Studio. Thank you for joining me in my ugly ass bathroom today. Today is Toilet Tuesday, and that means my next project is going to be toilet seat. This bathroom is seriously outdated, and I've been itching to do something with it. So I got approval from the boss that I'm allowed to do the toilet seat. I went with wood just because of the hinges are easily taken apart. You can take them off nice and easy. A lot of the plastic toilet seats don't seem to want to come apart very easily, and they have different kind of designs, and I thought the designs might come into some complications when pouring resin. Plus this one is as flat as I can find. A lot of toilet seats have a lot of curves. So this one that I got at Home Depot for 30 bucks seemed to fit the bill. So I am really excited because I'm putting a nice big ass dragon on this, and we're gonna make this look pretty awesome and get rid of these ugly ass browns and grays in here that are super outdated. But yeah, so I'm gonna go and sand off this enamel just so the resin sticks to it better. It will stick to enamel, but it's very, very smooth. I'm going to scuff it up. Got some screw holes here that need to be pressed back down. Once I took the screws out, I pulled out some of the wood. So we're going to make those nice and flat and cover those up. And just give it a nice scuff so it sticks really well. So we'll be back for that. And then I will show you the magic I am going to do on this beautiful toilet seat. And just for reference, this is the current boring ugly ass throne. So we will see if we like the new version better or if I should have left it the same at the end of the video. I'm looking forward to these comments so much. All right, let's get sanding. Today is Toilet Tuesday. Yes, I'm going to be resining a toilet seat today. How fun. So I have gone and I have scuffed up the toilet seat. I did front and back, but now I'm thinking I probably shouldn't have done the back. I probably should have left it, but I'm not sure if I'm going to resin the back side, but now I guess I'm going to. So I have just lightly scuffed this up. I just used 120 grit sandpaper and just did it by hand. You don't need to go hard on it like I did on some of these corners, but it's just so you get a little bit of texture and you get a better bond when you pour your resin on. You can also prime it if you want to, but I don't think it's necessary in this stage. I am going to leave the little silicone nubbies on. We'll just pour around those. It'll be easy to clean the resin off while it's wet anyway. Because when the hinges are on, it fits perfect. So you go and take these off, you're going to end up putting them back on, and then you're going to have, you know, difference when you go and put those nubbies back on, and your toilet seat's not going to fit properly. So just leave these on and we'll pour around them. I don't even have enough room to do both of these on here. It's going to be tight. So I am going to be using spray paint, black, white, silver, and copper in this pour. I'm also going to be using some crystal dust. And just so you know what that looks like. It's like chunky, icy snow. So I'm going to throw that in there. I'll play around with that today. And then I got some black and white mica powders. I'm going to keep the colors neutral, aside from the copper. Just so if I ever want to change the colors in my bathroom, I don't have to change out all of this. And I've kind of been mulling in the back of my mind. I got permission to do the toilet seat because you can always take it off and change it. But I kind of want to do the counters in there also. And I don't have permission for that. But I know it'll turn out cool and I probably won't get in that much trouble. So I'm still mulling that over. I kind of want to do it. There might be a part 2 to this. We'll see. Anyway, so yeah, that's why I'm keeping it neutral. So you can always change the accent colors in the bathroom. And then I'm going to match up the countertop. Most likely I'm going to do it. Yeah, I'm probably going to do it. Without permission. Anyway, yeah. So I'm going to get some resin mixed up. And we're gonna do a dirty exotic pour with the spray paint, the crystals, the mica powder, and then we're gonna put a dragon on here. And yeah, let's get started. Okay guys, so now I'm going to mix up my colors. My resin has been debubbled, so I'm going to... So I got white in this one, black in this one, and then we'll use one of these for the copper and one for silver. But what I didn't do yet is put in our crystal dust. So I'm going to put some of that in the white. A little extra bling in there. There we go. You can kind of see them, They just kind of pop up here and there when you're looking at it. They're very, very subtle. And they're in there. Next, black. I didn't mix up very much black. I'm going to kind of stick with mostly white as my base. Nothing in here, just regular black mica powder. Alright, now the fun begins. I really wish I had more space. It's a big project, little table. Now, okay, save those ones for later. Here we go. So that is in there. Nice, nice. Copper, mixy, mixy. A little more in there. There we go. Alright. We got our colors mixed. Now we're going to mix them again. In here. As we are doing a dirty pour. So now we're going to mix all our colors into our little bucket. And then pour from that bucket. We're just going to alternate. A little bit of white. A bit of black. Copper in there. Some silver in there. Hope I made enough. Some white. And I'll throw a little bit of this in there. I'll throw some silver. Just kind of just whatever, just random. Just random. Well, the reason I'm doing spray paint is because it likes to fight with the resin. And it creates some kind of really interesting effects. I've used this technique when I did countertops, and it turns out really cool looking. I'm not doing this in any order at all. I want it as random as possible. This is a very, very fumey project, guys. Make sure you're in a well-ventilated area. Wear a mask. You got a mask up for this stuff. Protect yourselves. Alright, guys. It is time. So now, we're just going to pour. Just telling the resin where to go, making a path for it. What happened? I got a high spot on that side. So kind of the problem with these curved objects. I lost all my resin in the middle. That did not turn out great. We'll have to get that in the next layer. Alright, that did not turn out great on that side. Oh man. Oh no. Oh no. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. What have I done? What have I done? That's looking cool though. Alright, I'm going to change gloves. Because I'm not done with this yet. I have an idea. Isopropanol. There we go. Now it's added a little texture. And the alcohol and the spray paint fight. I've done this in a couple videos now. And now they're going to create these little cells. And they kind of created a little bit of a textured effect. in between all this other textures that we got going on. Now you can see all these little alcohol spots that are going to show up. I'll throw a little more black on the top there. Just barely touching that. Barely touching. You just want to feather that. You don't want to go hardcore. You can even alternate colors here. We didn't get a lot of the copper, so maybe I'll throw a little bit more in that in there. Oop, almost dropped it. That would have been terrible. There you go. Throw a little color in that. Whoa, see? You don't want to do that. Ah! That's too hard on the button. I'm really just trying to get overspray, not actual spray. Calm that down. I'm going to do a second coat because I'm not quite happy with how this is looking so far. Let that gas off a bit and I'll take some heat to it. You gotta wait because this shit is flammable, so if you don't wait, you're going to start a fire. Let it gas off a little bit. And I actually probably won't because this room is so fumey and... So we'll let this dry. I'm going to do another coat. I'm not really satisfied with how this came out. Kind of screwed this up a little bit, so we'll fix it. But we can't do that until it's dry, so we'll come back after it's cured and go at it again. Yeah, not quite happy with that. All right, so the first coat is done and it's awful. This part here is pretty cool looking, but that's not what I was going for. I kind of want more of a marble look. So we're going to go dark now, and I'm going to do a different technique because I'm just not really happy with this. And I definitely don't want to do my countertop looking like that either. So I mixed up some resin, and I'm just going to do a freehand pour so I have more control over where my mica powders are going to go and try and get that marble look that I want. So I am going to mask up and get our colors mixed, and let's get at it. This is awful. This is awful. We had a couple little boo-boos. I think a big glob of alcohol dropped in there and kind of... I'm pretty sure that's what happened on these because I went a little heavy with the alcohol misting. I want more of a marble kind of look, and yeah, that's definitely not it. I want more of these kind of little interesting squigglies. So we are gonna do this more meticulously today and go with my intuition because, I mean, ultimately that's always right. All right, let's get some resin poured. I'm gonna use very small amounts of the other colors. All right, put that in there. All right, that's that one. This time I'm not going to be so rushed in the process. Okay, let's get pouring this. That's more my style. See, tons of bubbles. That's better. That's more what I was envisioning. I don't know what the hell I was doing yesterday. There, that's much better. Much better. I like this much better. Okay. Not touching that. That turned out way better. I'm way happier with that. That's more my style. And that's exactly what I want to do to the countertops that I'm going to do after this. So, letting cure, and then we will clean it up and do the bottoms. Alright guys, so this is the results that we got from our pour yesterday. I had some blank spots that were showing white, so I forgot to film it, my bad. My dog's been sick, I've been getting very little sleep the last couple of nights. So I had some blank spots and I just kind of feathered some black spray paint around the edges. So, I don't know if you can see it, but this part kind of all, well, fell off with the resin pour. So I just went and then just blackened that up with some black spray paint and let that dry. So I forgot to film that, my bad. But I'm sure you can figure out some spray paint from there. Anyway, so now we are going to do one more coat, and I'm going to do kind of the same thing yesterday, but not quite. I am going to go with some black. Well, actually, I'm just going to show you. So today's coat is not going to be the final coat. I'm going to do another layer of color, kind of. We're going to be working with a lot more clear today, but I am going to get some depth in there. I want to pop out some of these highlights because they're kind of getting muddied in there, and then this is very, very noticeable where I spray painted. So we're going to blend that in, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So I'm going to mix my colors, my resin's ready to go, and we'll get pouring again. So we're going to do black again, and I'm going to do some white and some copper and the silver highlights, but just a little bit. We're going to do a lot of this in clear. All right, here's our white. And our silver. And our copper. Whoo-wee. All right, so I'm going to try and just keep my black around the edges. Just where I have the spray paint. going to do what we did yesterday and pop some more colors out now that we have a clear coat on, so they'll float on top a little bit. And then I'll blend in that edge that I fixed this morning, so you'd never know that it even happened. That kind of gives a nice fade effect, which is kind of fun. There we go. It's looking pretty okay. And now this will really pop it out because it's very bright. I'm going to call it there. It's getting a little too occupied. Get our bubbles popped here. Popping bubbles. Okie dokie, that's way better, yay! Alright guys, we're gonna let that dry. It'll be 12 hours. I'm using tabletop resin. I think I forgot to mention that because of the durability. Toilets get a lot of use. I have one more step I want to do after this. And that is a clear coat. And then we will do the back sides. We are not done yet. We are only maybe halfway. Lots to do still. This is going to be another big project. Alright, so once these are dry, I will see you then. Alright guys, our toilet seat is cured. Now that turned out way better. Now you can see that we got more depth in there, that we laid in those couple of layers. I'm really glad I decided to spray the edge with that black spray paint. We got a nice fade effect. And then we layered in a little bit more to blend that in. So yeah, that turned out really cool. I really like how that turned out. I'm so glad I changed it. So our next step is to get rid of the drips, and then we're going to give this a little paint. This one is going to need another clear coat. Because I put that crystal dust in on that first pour, they're kind of popping up a little bit. So there's a little divot there. You can feel them here. And then of course on the corners, which is, you know, pretty typical with the way that gravity works with resin, I got some little pocketing. So I'm going to do another clear coat. I'm going to have to on this anyways because we're putting a vinyl decal on. And yeah, so clear coat. We'll fill in those pockets. Get my decal on, clear coat that, and then we're going to sand the bottoms. So that is what I'm going to do today. I'll show you how I put the decal on, but I'm not going to make you guys sit there and watch me pour clear coat on. You've seen me pour this enough times in this video. I'm going to skip through it. There's nothing different. It's going to be clear, no color. And it's just to secure the decal in and get rid of this waffle butt. Nobody wants waffle butt. So that is the next step. But first, it's dragon time. If you guys are enjoying this video, do me a favor and like and subscribe. Drop me a comment. Let me know what you thought of everything. Got any tips and tricks you want to share with other people, go ahead and throw them in there. Just trying to get my content out there, so I really appreciate you guys subscribing to my channel. It really helps me out. So now, let's get on with putting our stencil on. It's going to go right about there. So I printed this off of my Cricut. If you don't have a Cricut and you want to do a decal, you can always go to a local print shop. They will print your design for you too. Or, you know, drop me a line on my website and say, hey, can you make a decal for me? And I'd be happy to do so. All right, so we're just going to peel this off. Just like so. Put that over there. And it's curling on me. Oh, all right. I'm gonna go right about here. Just like so. Got one of these babies. Just heads up. Dollar Tree sells Cricut tools for $1.25, so don't be buying that crap for 20 bucks. You can also use extra gift card or your debit card or whatever. That works awesome too. They're really great to actually keep around and use for other projects also. So don't ever throw out your old gift cards. Keep them for art stuff. So we're just going to get this on there nice. There's a bubble in there. What's going on? Don't want that. Get that vinyl. This is also not Cricut vinyl. This is another brand from Michael's that was on sale. It's a lot thinner and easier to work with too than the permanent thick stuff. So, I'm always looking for deals. Don't buy nothing at that store for full price. That should be it there. Let's pull this off now. Nice, nice, nice. Trying to pull off at an angle. Don't like those bubbles I got though. That's a shame. I'll try and get those out still. Ta-da! I don't like these though. Just gonna push them out. They'll come out. Alright, so I already got my resin made up and I'm getting it nice and thick. It's chilling in my vacuum chamber right now. So I'm going to let that get a little bit thicker because I really want to make sure I address these. So when that is ready, we'll get pouring that clear coat. Got the clear coat, bubble free. Thank you, vacuum chamber. Should figure out a name for that guy. I'm just going to start pouring in the middle. Alright, so we're going to let that dry. So the next step now will be, once this is cured, we're going to do the back side and we're going to get all our drips off, sand it, paint it, and then I also have another decoration that I'm going to put on, and it's going to be a cute, funny surprise. So I'll see you when I get all that done and we'll do the backs. Okay guys, so we got these all sanded down. I couldn't get these nubbies off, so they got a little chewed up. Tried going around them nicely, but sometimes that doesn't work out. So now I am going to prime this, just because we do have resin on the edge and that will show through your paint. So I'm going to prime it before we paint, and that should be a uniform finish, and then another clear coat and we're done. So I'm just going to speed through this. I'll show you glimpses when I finish one task, just so you know what it looks like in each stage. But you guys don't need to see me pour any more resin on these. You've seen it 3 times already. You guys get the idea, and I have faith in you. Alright guys, that is the clear coat, and that concludes our work. So once these are done, then we'll take a look at them and call it a day. Yay, our work is done. Alright, creative people, we did it! My new throne! I love it. And there we go. And yes. Yes, yes. So I hope you enjoyed, guys. I know I had a lot of fun making this. It was a lot of work, but that's always worth it in the end. And I hope you liked it. Hope it made you get some cool ideas for stuff you can do around in the home to resin. And yeah, drop me some comments. Let me know what you think. Stay creative, guys. See you in the next one.